All right, everybody. Welcome to the Light Owl Healing Podcast. I've got my friend Chaz of Vibrational Souls here with me. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, hello, everyone.
Chaz is a lifelong musician, having played in many bands throughout his life. And in 2010, he felt a calling to step outside of his normal music gigs and look for something deeper. This led to a backpacking trip through Mexico and Guatemala. He visited the pyramids at Palenque. Is that how you say that?
Yeah, Palenque, yep.
Tulum and other sacred sites in 2012 during the end of the Mayan calendar. And so you're a sound healer. How did that how is that relevant to your journey as a sound healer?
Oh man, jumping right into it, I love it. First off, I want to thank everyone for taking a minute and tuning in, and thank you, Mason, for having me on the show.
Absolutely, pleasure.
Want to send some heart-loving energy out to everyone out there. It's really an honor to be able to share with you guys and to connect through the beautiful frequencies of sound.
Right on.
So as you were saying, how did I get into sound healing? I've been a musician my whole life, as you kind of mentioned, been in many different bands and got into DJing back in the late 90s and breakdancing and really enjoyed that whole dance culture. And then about 2010 had a huge just spiritual awakening. It just kind of like was sitting there with some friends and literally knew I had to change my life. I had to quit drinking. I had to kind of quit doing the mundane type of work I was doing with the very, working at like clubs every single weekend and doing like kind of more of the standard what you see nightlife type of routine. And that's how I was living as a nighttime musician.
Yeah.
And I ended up going to Mexico, which was awesome, man. Have you ever had a chance to go down to Mexico?
Yeah, I visited Chichen Itza as a child, and just the pyramids there, and seeing the ball game, and like sacred sites where people would be sacrificed. It's pretty nutty. It's just different from our understanding of what is sacred and. Our culture here and our modern day way of thinking and being.
It really is, and we sometimes we don't think too how long these empires, these cultures lasted for. I mean, the Mayan culture was around for thousands of years. We're talking, our civilization, we're like maybe 400 years at the way our society has been at, So it's pretty crazy to think about these things of how we look and other things, but. While I was out there, I realized they valued sound in a very deep way, and I had the opportunity of being with some shamans over there and some local medicine men as I was doing my own journey and meditating with some of the pyramids in Palenque and tuning into the frequencies of the angles and the alignments of the planets and really and tuning myself. I realized at a ceremony they were using sound in a way I never really thought of or I didn't remember yet in this lifetime, and they were using it in this beautiful sacred way, and they were using it to open up their mind to connect with ancestors and to connect with the spirit and to free energy out of their body. And I realized this is why I came to Earth. It wasn't to play booty shaking music in the bar so someone can get drunk and hook up,
which people love,
and I love it.
That's okay for people like that stuff.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, but it was to take that knowledge of being able to get somebody so excited about something, but make that be healing. Yeah. And to make that be something that is going to benefit them in many different ways, but to make it as exciting as going to the Saturday night club and dancing your night and meeting the love of your life. You know what I mean? Making that type of that excitement that we see in the social culture part of a healing type of flow.
Totally.
And so I came back from my journeys and started diving deep into music therapy and sound therapy. Specifically, started studying a lot of stuff out of Germany, a lot of stuff from the 70s where that was really big. They were doing a lot of experimentation, a lot of documentation on it.
Have you heard of Hans Kusto?
Yes.
Yeah, amazing mathematician. He was studying the planets and hertz, how we measure frequency is every cycle per second.
Correct.
Right, however many cycles per second. So we talk about 432 cycles per second, and 528 cycles per second. These are sacred frequencies, 432 is really intertwined with, the spatial, it's how we measure time,
The inner matrix of how we perceive it, totally.
Absolutely. So yeah, Hans Cousteau was measuring basically how long it took for the planets to go around the sun, and then broke that down into how we measure time, and then breaking that down into a frequency that we can then measure and play. A frequency that resonates with each planet in our solar system. So that when you play these frequencies, they're basically like playing the hum or the sound of that planet hurling through space. And that just blows my mind. Yeah, totally.
Love it. It's so beautiful how sound and frequency is so interconnected and everything, and that led me to even a deeper studying why I was going through my path and ended up deciding I wanted to get some credentials in this path. And so kind of at the time I was doing construction work again, and kind of, was just supporting myself the way I could, and I decided to go back to college and get a music and sound therapy degree. Nice.
Cool. Where'd you do that? What did that look like?
Globe Institute in San Francisco. This is the most accredited college in actually music and sound therapy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
David Gibson, amazing guy. You should check him out. He writes amazing healing music. He's been doing sound healing schooling since the 80s. And I think he's had this particular school open for like 10 years. And people from around the world go there. And it's a beautiful school. Amazing if anybody's ever thinking about taking a step. Whether they're just into singing bowls or whether they already write complete orchestra pieces and want to take a healing aspect, I highly suggest talking to Dave at Globe. Amazing people. Amazing school.
Right on. So, like, in your experience with sound, like, how does that help people? Like, how does that work on a healing level for people, and how do you use sound to help people?
Thank you. So this is such a deep and beautiful question, but I'm just going to kind of move to the modality I'm using right now because it'll make the most sense. So I use a type of therapy I've designed called vibrational sound therapy. It's a form of vibroacoustic technology. And so vibroacoustic uses low-end frequencies, much similar to like laying on a bed of subwoofers, like at a concert, and like having those frequencies go through your body as if you're laying on like 10, 15-inch speakers, but no sound. It's just sending raw frequencies into the body.
Whoa.
And so you're putting about 5 hertz to about 200 hertz through the body, while you're listening to headphones that have music that correlate along with the frequencies going through the table that cover all the full span of hertz. So that also works on the psychological and emotional. So what we're doing here is we're creating a capsule for the body to be encapsulated in frequency so it can release. It can go through its healing process and be united in one frequency. At the same time, we're listening to music that correlates with the frequency that opens up us psychologically and emotionally, so we become involved in release as well on the other parts besides our physical aspect. So it enables us to get a full balance healing, working on the mental, the psychological, and the physical aspect of ourselves.
So how are you playing? You said you're playing sound that's not audible? Is that what you said?
So we're sending raw frequency into the body. You can hear it a little bit.
How are you creating that?
So there's types of technology there's different transducers, and there's different types of basically frequency speakers that put out that type of stuff. And
like a Rife machine, or
kind of like a Rife machine. There's a little bit more information on my website that it kind of goes a little bit deeper about like what the actual speakers work with or what the technology works with.
Cool. What's your website?
Sounds, Crystals, and Vibrations. We have some of the technology there for sale. I make frequency pillows. I make the tables.
What? Oh, that's so neat.
I also make therapies that are designed for different things, from back pain to emotional support to working with our chakras and our energetic centers, sleep and PTSD. I have a wide range of therapies that are designed for different types of things that we're looking to work with. And also a lot of things that we're looking to benefit with, like we have stuff that build our immune system. We have frequencies and therapies that help with out-of-body experiences and connecting with our inner heart connecting with our inner self. We have past life regressions and gem journey therapies, so we can work in many aspects using this form of technology.
Cool. So, I have a deep question for you. Are you ready? As a sound healer, do you have a favorite frequency?
Oh man, do.
Oh
So the answer is, in real reality,
all of them.
All
No.
of them, yes, exactly. So we could talk. I believe the frequency is the real magic to the frequency is the intention and the love behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Without the love behind it, it's just a frequency. When you now have somebody that's adding or directing it with love and with conscious direction, is when you get the optimal, reaction from the frequency.
Mm-hmm.
But the most frequency I love to use when it's just a plate frequency, nothing else, just one tone, one frequency, is the golden 432.
432.
It really is one of my favorite
Now, what does that do for people? And for a lot of people that don't know, I mean, you could go into explaining like what its relationship to time is and the rotation of the planets. And
oh yeah, and our vertebrae, the mathematics line up with our vertebrae. But to put it as the simplest way, I'm gonna ask people to go and research cymatics.
Oh yeah, cymatics is so fascinating.
Yes, to go and research 432 hertz cymatics and look at the geometry of it. And then imagine that's what's happening to all the cells in your body when you're playing that frequency into the body.
It like reorganizes the frequency.
It restructures us.
Yeah, restructures the cellular. Yeah.
And the body is so in need because we have the airplane going on outside, we have the baby crying, we have the honking horns, we have all these inconsistent frequencies that create a disharmonics that have that create inconsistency within our cells, and we have the squiggly lines looking everywhere. And then when we restructure ourselves with solid tone frequencies, our body goes back into realignment. It retunes us, it restructures us, and it really is a very beneficial time when we have so much stuff that brings us out of tune, like cell phones and TVs and societies, social media and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. So is it just as effective using sound through headphones, or is it more effective to use it like acoustically in an environment? Or what's your perspective there?
So no matter what, using sound is going to be beneficial, but you'll have different applications or different more direct actions that happen from the different ways. Like if I were just to listen to headphones and listen to the tone, mm-hmm. I would feel it would help me mentally clear my mind. It would help me physically relax, and if I toned with it, it could also help me maybe go to like another consciousness, or help me like really go to a deeper meditative spot. Now, if I were to listen to that same tone, but let's say through something that was implementing the frequency through me so I could feel it, then my body would end up doing the same thing my mind is doing, and they would do it together, without trying to say, okay, my mind is doing this, body follow. Yeah. Like they just end up doing together because they're both happening to each other simultaneously.
It's like oming in a group.
Yes.
Gosh, you can go so deep, so quick. Just doing any type of type of chanting where you're really vocalizing and really just creating that frequency, and that I think is some of the most powerful self-healing is when you're able to tone, because when you sing, those frequencies are going through your lungs, out into your heart, and really just traveling all over your body and even out into the space around you. Yeah. It's pretty profound.
It is so profound. Its toning is so amazing because it really does. It works from the inside out. It's one of those healing modalities that when you do it, it like literally heals you from the inside out. You feel it resonating from the inside out. And you don't need to pay a ticket to go to a sound bath. You don't need a bunch of instruments like me and a big van to load them all around in.
Right.
All you need to do is just have the willingness and do it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And there's no wrong or right way. You just open up your mouth and let whatever comes out. Be happy with it.
That was one of the things that so I'm probably going to mention this a lot throughout my episodes of podcasts, but spending time down in Costa Rica off-grid, doing ceremonies down there, doing medicine ceremonies, they always encourage you to participate in song. Because when you're participating with plant medicines and you are vocalizing with that, and you're in a container with other people who are creating that, or creating that kind of force around the ceremony or even through the ceremony and creating that container, it opens the heart up. When you're really vocalizing. I mean, I think that's an amazing. I mean, you have to use your lungs and your breath and. You talk about prana.
Prana, it is. Yeah.
The word prana means the breath of life.
Yep.
Oh
yeah.
So yeah, it's powerful healing medicine. So you're in a group called Vibrational Souls.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about what you guys do there.
Oh, thank you.
And who's your musical partner?
So Vibrational Souls, and its entirely is basically the Great Spirit is the overall soul. It's the vibrating soul, and us souls, we go around it to vibrate with it. So I normally lead the orchestra, and then I have a handful of people who come perform with me.
Oh wow! It's not just you and who's the blue-haired
no,
girl?
Nova was
Nova.
One of, she
still
vocalizes. Yeah, she does.
Oh, okay.
But I also work with a flute player who comes in and sometimes performs
Cool.
with me. Miguel from Singing Tree Flutes. And Nova comes and performs. She sings for me.
Wow.
And I have other artists that come in, and so it's kind of a in and pull. But it's always the spirit, myself, and then normally other people. But Nova and I are just about ready to release an album together, and so we're performing a couple festivals in honor of putting this music together.
Wow. Well, do you have a release date for that?
We're hoping for the end of August.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right on. What's it going to be called? Your album?
We don't really have the name yet.
Oh.
It's kind of going. We're kind of teetering back and forth.
Yeah.
But it's a cross between having live sound healing instruments being played with produced frequencies, like healing frequencies, with light world music played, mixed in and mixed out with ceremonial music sung on top of it.
Cool. That
Yeah.
sounds really
So-
synergistic.
Yeah, so it kind of flows in and out of different types of aspects, but it never the hand never leaves. Everything is always still touching each other.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah, so we're gonna we'll be playing this weekend up in Bellingham at Crystallography, which is a pretty cool event, and then we'll be at Cascadia, actually closing out the main
cool.
stage,
Wow.
doing a big giant the end event there. So they asked us to come do that. So.
Nice.
We're really excited to be there at the end of the month. And if you ever want to check out our music, we're on SoundCloud at Vibrational Souls. There's a variety of different styles of music that we've performed on there. And yeah, we're really excited to be out there. We have a video flying around somewhere on Facebook too. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. And you also own a storefront, right?
Yes, so Sounds, Crystals, and Vibrations is my business, and I have a storefront in Vancouver, Washington, right across the bridge of Portland, and I have a full world music sound healing store with crystal singing bowls, Tibetan bowls, Native American flutes, tingshaws, hand pans, tongue drums, rattles, auspicious tuning forks like the kitty cat purr, the 111 frequency.
What? You have a kitty cat purr tuning fork?
I have the great bang forks. Randy Masters is a world-renowned tuning fork maker, and I get tuning forks from.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah.
Are they aluminum? Are they stainless steel?
They're
Are
actually
they crystal? Or?
they're a type of hybrid space aluminum. They're
Oh,
they're the
wow.
highest grade forks you can get. They're made by Metathrive, which is the highest grade forks you can get.
Wow.
He has them custom made for Metathrive for him.
Cool.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So there's frequencies you will not get anywhere else on tuning forks unless you know Randy. And then we got a variety of other just world instruments. Really awesome. We have a storefront as well online, and really exciting that we'll now be in Portland as well too.
Oh nice. Where is that going to be at?
So I just joined the Revival team in downtown Portland. Really excited to join their crew. I'll be there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I will have a small selection of world instruments there as well.
Cool. Heck yeah. Beautiful. And then you have also, you're hosting this event in this park coming up. I'm playing music at it. Tell me a little bit more. I'm so interested in this sound healing table you've got people laying on. Is that similar to what you're doing in your practice?
Yes, the exact same technology, just on a bigger format.
Wow, cool.
So my private practice, I work one-on-one on like a massage type of table. And then we created a big version, what we call an art installation version, to take to healing festivals and to experiential festivals that 4 people at a time can lay on.
Wow.
So all you people in Portland, this coming up next Thursday, we're going to be at a local park and we're going to be debuting our sound healing. It's called our Sonic Vibrational Experience Table. And it basically is the same type of technology we were talking about that sets off this low emit frequency, but we created it in an atmosphere where people can experience it in a community. And so 4 people lay on the sacred geometry art installation while they're all listening to silent disco headphones, and everybody's going on through the same healing process together, experiencing it together.
Wow.
And so we'll be offering 20-minute journeys to help raise money for an expansion, so we can get this up to 8 people at a time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're going to have a professional video photographer there with a drone doing a video shoot. And we're going to have some amazing DJing playing down-tempo and world music the whole time for everybody to dance and enjoy to.
Nice.
Great. Mason's going to be there.
Yeah, I'm so stoked to participate.
Yeah, I just heard Kimba's going to be there. Joe Kimba's going to come perform as
well. Oh,
nice.
Cool.
Yes, as well as myself. We'll put down a little set,
Yeah.
Have some fun with everybody. It's going to be amazing. I'm sure we'll drop a link in the Facebook.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the description for that.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And your website and on your shop and all that stuff. Yeah, so that's going to be happening on July 18th, 6 to 9 p.m., right?
Yes.
At Peninsula Park on Rosa Parks Way. Yeah, super stoked about that. So, diving in a little bit more, do you have any kind of like future goals? I know like for your practice, I know you're expanding into revival. What's it called?
Yeah, revival.
Revival. Cool. Yeah. Where do you want to where's your grandiose plan? How do you want to, what if you had like an ideal place you could be in your business? Like what's the omega point for you?
It's so interesting being back into working music full time in the healing aspect. One aspect would love to say, I would love to just continue working on more bigger art installations and take that to a bigger format, and be able to work with big, large groups. But really in my heart, I know it's about finding a place to create a healing center, an off-the-grid healing center.
Nice.
And it's where I
That's
can
my
bring
dream, man. Maybe we
bring
can
people
collaborate.
like yourself out, exactly, and create a sustainable place where we can do small retreats. People could go to where they need to stay at a month at a time and work with different practitioners and really get deep healing. And at the same time, bring people in for deep training that want to learn, really gifted types of techniques from different people from around the world, and be able to trade techniques and take them to different places around the world. Because there's so many amazing, powerful, beautiful healing techniques out there.
Yeah, cool. So like, other than Mexico and the places you've been down in South America, what other places do you want to travel, or have you traveled? Yeah. Where is sound healing taking you?
So I've been to Guatemala and I'm planning on going back again this winter, and I'll be there doing a retreat in Palenque in December, and then I'll be down at Cosmic Conscious Convergence Festival, working with them down there, and I would like to actually go to Europe.
Oh, really? What's in Europe?
Well, my roots are I'm half Mexican and I'm half German, which is a really weird combination. Yeah. And so I've done a lot of my root searching back down in Mexico and learned a lot about my heritage there. But I know very little besides what some of my family's told me about my German lineage.
Yeah.
And so
you know how to play bagpipes?
No.
No. Is that a German thing?
I think it's a Scottish thing.
Oh, shit.
But it might be a German thing. I don't know. So I've been kind of wanting, and I know that there is a really forward-thinking healing community out in the Europe area as well too. Every time I research a lot of the things that I'm doing, a lot of people from Europe pop up. So
well, Germany is I think Berlin is a mecca for a lot of like some of the like music technology hub. It's like a music technology hub of the world. I think like Ableton is there. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong. Newmark, a couple of the big ones are from Germany. Don't quote me on exactly what companies are there, but I heard that Berlin is amazing. Is there a specific instrument or teacher
No,
or kind of place
you
you want to go?
the thought is kind of going there and finding the lineage of the people. What is their indigenous people? Where does their kind of roots and where does their healing come from? Where does their shamanistic roots of, kind of come from in that area and learn a little bit about that.
Cool.
I feel like, my lineage of ancestors probably carry some of that, and so I'd like to learn some of those tools like I've learned some of my other ancestor lineage tools.
Right on.
Yeah, and plus just experience the music atmosphere, because the music atmosphere out there, from what I heard, is really amazing.
Nice. Do you practice or kind of enjoy any other type of like healing modalities? Like what are some things that you enjoy doing that are not specifically related to sound healing but are healing in nature?
Yeah, I love massage. I think it's so healing, the physical touch and having the transfer of energy, especially when you add things like Reiki, which I know you do, and I think that energy transfer with the human touch transfer is beautiful. That's one of my favorites. I do yoga pretty much almost every morning.
Nice.
I have a very similar practice I've been doing for probably about 6 or 7 years.
Wow, cool.
And so that's very important to me.
Yeah.
It really helps out my body.
Yeah, just physical embodiment.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's really beautiful. And I would say probably the biggest thing I do that's so healing is taking my dog for a walk.
Oh.
And just looking at the trees and literally going out and just letting go. I think that's probably one of the most healing things that I do that has no healing label around it.
It's doggo therapy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's doggo therapy, man.
Yes.
Yeah, those sweet companions, man.
Yeah.
They're just very... I think there's something healing just about connecting with nature and, animals. And I know that me just walking around the neighborhood, connecting with the plants and the trees and my own thoughts and, like you said, just disconnecting from what might be like just a rigorous, repetitive kind of like day to day, and it's not that way all the time, but it's its own walking meditation.
Yeah, it's great for me. It's like there's no cell phone. I make sure I take nothing but my dog with me.
Nice. Yeah.
And like we started off and we normally go for about an hour to an hour and a half now almost every day, and so it's good. Yeah, and we find trees we like, and I learn to be patient when he wants to.
You both find trees you like.
We both find trees we like. I work on learning to be patient when he wants to, stay and smell something for an hour. I'm like, all right, and it's good. It's really healing, and I recommend anybody go for a walk if they haven't gone for a walk in a while and just smell a flower on it. And
yeah, well, it's still summer, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Well, how do people reach you for your services, and like if they wanted to schedule a session with you, how do they do that?
Awesome. Well, if you're interested in scheduling with me, I highly recommend checking out my website at soundscrystalsandvibrations.com or on Facebook as well at Sounds Crystals and Vibrations. You can also call Enlight Hyperbarics in Vancouver, Washington, if you want to look them up, and you can book directly through them as well. Or you can also book directly through Revival as well. RevivalPDX.com is their booking, and they just added me under sound therapy.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, and I'll drop all that info down below in the description. And is there anything else you want to kind of share with the world? Any last words? Famous last words?
Famous last words. I was talking to some of my friends the other day about sound, and it's like the frequency uses sound to manifest, and the sound uses the frequency for the intent. And with that, when we sound our motion with the intent, we're able to work with the harmony of the universe. So, I just thank everybody for being them and for being part of this great earth and this time and place. And the more we smile, the more smiles are out there. So I hope to see you guys coming up at this park party on Thursday smiling with me.
Right on. Well, may we all be in harmony with the universe.
Yeah. Blessings.